We all have dreams and aspirations, and sometimes there's things that frustrate us. But I think the things that frustrate some people are not always the same things that frustrate the rest of us. I'd say I've done my books, I have achieved a lot, but I also don't see the success sometimes from what I create. And I think the thing that surprised people probably more than anything will be the things that frustrate me, and maybe not what they would assume frustrates me. You know, there's certain things, of course, it bothers me, but it doesn't bother me to the same extent. Yeah, I'll show. I'll show. I'm going to show what bothers me. So, what bothers me more than anything, I don't care about followers and things like that on social media. I don't care. I don't care if my videos get liked. People's perception of the content I create, it becomes irrelevant really because it's up to people how they perceive content, isn't it? So if someone likes it or they don't like it, hopefully it's caused a reaction in them anyway, you know. So there's a reason for the content. It sparks a curiosity in people and a bit of evolution, and something comes of it, for good and bad. You know, it just gets people thinking. So what bothers me more than anything is the fact that I work hard at everything I do. Like I put a lot of time into what I do, and I've been doing it for years. And it's the fact that I don't get a fair shot at things. Like I'm never given the same opportunities as other people, and that's what bothers me more than anything. Again, the final result doesn't bother me so much. I don't look. I'd love to have money. Who wouldn't? I'd love to be wealthy. Who wouldn't? But it's not the barometer of my success or the frustration that I feel. You know, it's part of, but it's not the be all and end all. I can cope in poverty. You know, I can find comfort in that. It's fine. I understand how to set payment plans and be like frivolous and things. I can do things. I can cope. So I have good moments with money, bad moments with money. It's not the end. I'm going to just zoom in here, try and hopefully it help people. It's going to have to be really zoomed in, I think, at this point, it's, crazily. But just want to show some numbers here. I mean, we're going to have to go even further. I'm not sure people can be able to see. 22 views, 4. This is the ones that sort of bother me the most. 4. You put so much effort, and the system won't even allow people to see it. And this is prevalent. So if you see any of my videos, believe me, it's a very rare trait because 22, 4, 47, 35, 4, 45, 35, 59, 6, 29, 76, 6. And this is just repeated. I'm not going to keep saying the numbers now. You can see how low they are. It's ridiculous. The reality is I don't have any control of that. I can create the content. I don't have control after that of what people see. And it does restrict any sort of progress and ability to be successful, really. So because it's not a fair playing field, I don't get a fair. There's like a fair demographic of stuff. You know, I just don't get a fair. I don't know whether something's successful or not, or whether it would be appreciated because I don't get to see the result of it being seen. It's like it's crazy. So if you had like maybe a video got 500 views, and then you can start looking at statistics. If a video's only had less than 50, you can't make statistics based on that information. That's not enough of a pool of information to garner any statistics. All of these videos, they're so ridiculously low all the time. Now let's go over to my YouTube channel. It's the same situation. You could argue maybe I don't put enough in the SEO, search engine optimization, and all that stuff, but it's got, you know, you'd expect more than that. And I put effort in. 55 minutes ago, no views. 13 hours ago, 1 view. I'm not going to keep saying how long ago. All these videos are quite recent, and even the ones that are further afield. No views, no views, no views, no views. 2, no. 6, 10, no. 10, 4, 1, no. 27, 35, 1, no. 2, 1, no, 2. and that's just the way it's throughout the whole thing. So we can't say a video or the content I created isn't good enough. It hasn't been seen, is it? And there's not enough of a selection pool of the ones that have seen it, really, because everybody has their own interests. So just because maybe someone saw it and they weren't that interested, that's just one person out of how many in the population, you know? So that's what bothers me more than anything is the fact that my work is always restricted. I can't catch a break. So what does that do? Anything I do cannot get traction. So how do I, like for instance, if we just go there, you can see to the sides anyway of this video. But even if we just go here and show the books, there's 4 of them, there's 6. How can I sell my books? How can I promote my books if everything I do is restricted? So how does that affect the book sales? Now, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bigger reason for this beyond my understanding. I know the spiritual side of me says there's a reason for it, and it's to keep me in a position at the moment until the breakthrough. Maybe the world isn't ready. There's all these little connotations, but there could also be some malevolent entities or people or beings or institutions stopping me. I don't know. Here we go. Last 30 days of my books. So this is the last 30 days of my book sales. I got nothing. And I'm transparent about that. It's crazy, isn't it? But I can't do anything. I literally can't promote my books because my work doesn't get noticed. There's nothing I can do. It's just that's the report, nothing. And yet I'm still working on my next book. So, I don't allow things like that to derail me. I'll still work. I'll still plug away. But a deep frustration that I currently have in my life is the fact that everything I do is roadblocked. I don't think any of it is poor quality. I don't think anything I do is rubbish or it's not worth witnessing. I think everything I do will help transform people's lives, and I think I can help transform the masses' lives given the opportunity. And I just can't wait for the breakthrough to come. So there's only so much I can do. If you can bash your head against a wall for so long, but sometimes you just got to wait and allow time to sort of progress. And I talk about it a lot. I'm going to be working on my upcoming book. See, I haven't seen sales of the previous ones very much lately, but it's like it doesn't stop me. I'm still a relentless force. Something I noticed this morning, I just opened the curtains. I was like, oh my god, it's bright earlier. Like I love spring. Spring is my absolute favorite time of the year. Summer's nice too, but it gets a bit hot. But spring for me is beautiful. It's when like life just comes back. It just transforms, doesn't it? I get really depressed in the winter. It's so miserable. It's dire. It's dark. It's cold. And it's just forever dark, and that just messes with my consciousness. I feel like far lighter. I feel energetic. I feel invigorated when the spring season comes round. I know it's not quite spring yet, but we're seeing it starting to build towards it, and it's made me really, really passionate. So I am really, really excited to get back to doing my book, and it's quite obvious that me doing the videos at this point in time is getting me nowhere. Like I do the video, it can't get views. It's very minimal, and it just stops all the time. And I think this is how I see it. I think one day everything I do will just get unlocked and everybody will see it. And people maybe perceive an overnight success, and it wasn't. It was like stuck for so long, for years, absolute years. But I was just relentless in being me and still speaking up and still sharing my story and still trying to help people. And I'm just going to do it in different ways. So I think what I'm going to do over the next period really is I'm going to focus on like my upcoming book, and that'll be, I think, April. Let's think about April. I don't want to put stupid stress on myself, but it requires a bit of editing. I'm not saying the beginning of April, it may be the end of April. I really don't mind as long as it's done this year. Everything I do, I try and do a book a year, but I'm realistic. If I get that done, then it frees me for the rest of the year to not have that pressure on myself. In the meantime, though, I do create YouTube videos in a different way. So I'll just show that briefly if we go on the home section of my YouTube channel. Just while we're here, if anyone's luckily fortunate to see this, I wouldn't say lucky, but if you're fortunate to see it, most people don't. On my YouTube channel, I've also got one that's called TV. Has very minimal subscribers. I don't care about none of that. I do it because it's fun. I do it because I'm going to play anyway. So some of it's share my movie collection, physical movies like Blu-ray, DVD. I might be sharing like repairing a VHS tape, which I did. I also share video games. I've always had a gaming channel, but I'm trying to consolidate it into a different thing. So I'd rather just create this new channel and do it here. And at the moment, I'm like enjoying my Euro Truck and American Truck Simulator. They're really great. There's a few other games I'm playing at the moment, and I'm going to share sections of those because I enjoy doing it. It's not heavy. It's just me relaxing. If I'm playing them anyway, I'm just recording them. I like creating content. So there's a good chance that over the next few months, there's going to be less serious content of me talking on camera about issues around the world or life in general. I'll be just off doing my book, and in the spare time I'll be playing some video games, watching some movies, and I may share part of that through my TV section. And what I try to do so it doesn't get lost is on my main channel I've got a gaming playlist, and I add the videos from that channel to my gaming playlist on my main channel, so they'll still be seen here. I may even move that up later, but because it's not serious, I don't want to lose more substantial content. I'm going to keep this concise though. Just show people the thing that bothers me the most is the fact that it's not a fair playing field, and I absolutely despise injustice, and that's why it bothers me so much. It bothers me because it's not fair. And when something's not fair, I speak about it a lot, and it sparks something in me that makes me just fight against it with all my might. Um, so it hasn't stopped me creating. I will always create, and I just recognise a day will come when a breakthrough appears, and that's the way I see it. So it's worth investing in ourselves and always keep building, because you just never know when that day comes. But think of the tidal wave that will create. The amount of videos I've done and the books I've done, once they're like released and people finally see them and they get maybe some recognition, it'll be like a tsunami, like out of nowhere. Where the hell did this all come from? It's like, yeah, it was locked. Now finally people get to see. Hopefully that happens at some point in my lifetime, but we can't control it, and there's nothing more I can do. I can pay to promote, but I refuse to do it because that's what these companies want. They want your money, and it's like, no, it should be fair to begin with. I don't mind considering paying for advertisement and promotions once it's faded off and it's reached sort of a viewership that's fair and reasonable and similar to what other people get. That's fine. But don't limit me to 5 views and then say, now you can pay to promote if you want. No, other people have got 500 views, 200 minimum, and some are in the thousands. It's crazy. And they just get it seamless. Yeah, I know my videos are longer, but I have things to talk about. I think of substance. I'm not interested in sound bites. There are some videos I think about recording sometimes, but I'm aware that video could create a soundbite, and then someone else would just take that soundbite and make a video. And I'm not giving people tools. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not interested in trends. But yeah, so finances bother me a bit, but I can cope with little. The idea of going back to, I don't like calling things menial, but when I've done something for my whole life and I've outgrown it, it doesn't make sense to, when I have this other skill set, to only make money off of, I think, your physical ability rather than your intellect. That's really stupid, but it's just the way the world is. And that just seems stupid. That just seems ridiculous to me. But aside from those things, I can make peace with that, though. I can make peace with like doing warehouse forklift work. I can, it's a job. I can do that. I have an aptitude for it. It's fine. And you can make money from that. So from those two things, you can fix that side of your life. But it's not fair that the content I create doesn't have the same opportunities as other people, and that's my biggest frustration. Like I said, I don't really care so much about the recognition. If people like it, they like it. That's good. It's nice to know it's relating to people. It obviously makes me feel good when it does, and it'll encourage me to do more. But I already do anyway. For me, it's not so much the likes, the follows. It's just more the fact that at least give me a fair chance at views. I think 200 views minimum, I think is fair. At least it says, look, we've tried to give it to an audience. And then if you see the videos haven't got much interaction, engagement, and you say, okay, I can understand why that one didn't really go viral or didn't get opportunity to grow. But I've had some videos where you've got so minimal views, but you've had quite a lot of likes. And it's like, oh, that one's going to finally break through. And it just stops again. And it's like, I don't know where these algorithms. Obviously, I can make a new profile. Maybe it's the profile. Maybe it's just the system has sort of locked that profile. But I refuse to play that game of having to make multiple accounts. Shouldn't have to. Again, everything should be fair. It shouldn't be accounts get frozen and people get blocked behind these restrictions because it's not announced to you that there's a restriction. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, that's my frustration. Nothing's fair.